Hey, my beautiful queens. This is your one and only Queen Deesh here. So I wanted to give you guys a queendom tip. I was doing that before, and it kind of got away from me. Life happens to all of us, and we detour, we do different things, and it's come back around. So I want to make sure that I follow my inner GPS and do what I'm supposed to do. So I am definitely here for you all. You, of course, have seen it in the description, but just to show you, Queens, again, I am the author of two books, but the one where the inspiration for the Queendom tips came from is the second book that I published, which is Queens Don't Settle. Okay, so this is the book here. Queens Don't Settle, okay? A book of poems to empower women. And both of my books are available on Amazon. Okay, so the Queendom tip for you guys today. Oh man, ladies, there's just a level of truth that some of us are not willing to face, and we have to talk about the truth. Okay, when it comes to specifically relationships, because queens don't settle, the emphasis and a lot of it does have to do with relationships, but it's not the only thing. The movement itself is no more broken records, but the movement to empower women not to settle is not just in relationships, it's in life in general. Okay, relationships just happen to be one place where we as women, that's a huge place where we settle. And so it just looks like, or should I say, that's what I'm focused on, as much as you guys, the queens, need me to be. So anyway, so when it comes to relationships specifically, okay, queens, we have to hold ourselves accountable and we have to be honest, okay? We cannot change what we will not acknowledge, okay? I'm going to say that again. We cannot change what we will not acknowledge, okay? Some of you are in relationships, or you have been in relationships, and you give, okay? And trust me when I say I understand how we have been conditioned as women. Okay, trust me, if you've read any of my articles, any of them on my blog, I understand. Okay, that's why I'm here. But there has to come a point, ladies, where we look within ourselves to do the inner work to recognize how we are contributing to the situation. Okay, how what we are doing is essentially not helping. Okay, so what I'm going to bring up is a specific example that I came across, and I'm just going to piggyback off of it. So we're talking about how some women, um, they say they want a good man, but then when they get the good man, they sabotage it, or they leave him because he actually I hate to say it, but he actually has his stuff together, or he's stable. And some of you queens, you're, as much as you say that you want a good man, some of you are not really ready for him. Like some of you, we all have issues, trust me, but some of you keep entertaining the wrong man, okay? You give your all. And I mean, like, you give your heart, your soul, of course, your body, we're all adults here, sex, okay? You give your all to him. You're giving your all to a man who clearly doesn't deserve you. Like, you're giving your all, queen, to someone who is not doing anything. Like, he's not helping you. He's not doing anything. Like he hasn't really brought you, or he's not bringing you any value. Like it's not an addition. Really, if anything, it's a subtraction. Okay? Or we can just say that you're not moving forward. Okay? So it's kind of like stagnant. You're just stagnant. So the point is, it's not an addition. Okay? He's not an addition to your life. Okay, and that's what relationships are supposed to be. They're supposed to be additions, not subtractions, and they're not supposed to keep you stagnant and not growing and moving forward. Okay, so when we're talking about the good men here, okay, some of you actually are more comfortable. I talked about this on my podcast, but I brought it up for the men, okay? So for the women, okay, because both of us have to do better as far as genders, okay? For you guys, some of you you're giving your all, okay, to someone who doesn't deserve it, but yet you're complaining. You are complaining about how he doesn't do this and how he doesn't do that and he needs to do this, okay? What motivation does a man have to want to do better for you when he's clearly getting everything without having to do anything? Okay, I want you to really think about that, Queens, because we have to get to a point where we recognize and become aware of what we're doing so we can heal whatever needs to be healed within ourselves so we can then do better, okay? We have to do the inner work, okay? We have to do the inner work and heal and work on ourselves so we become better internally first, and then that will then manifest on the outside, okay? So again, we are talking about, what are you doing? You are giving your all. You're doing everything. And I mean everything. The cooking and the cleaning, being domesticated, you're working, you're doing everything. And you're with a guy. I'm sorry, I'm not calling him a man. You're with a guy that you've allowed, because you've allowed it and you're tolerating it, but you're with a guy who is really not contributing any real value to your life, and you're okay with that, but yet you're complaining about how all these guys out here are low down and no good. Well, my beautiful queen and sister from another mother, you're a part of the problem, because you are entertaining and tolerating and allowing this type of low-level behavior. Why would he want to change? I mean, I'm not even a man, but hell, if I could sit back and kick up my feet and be fed and clothed and taken care of, and I ain't got to do nothing, and I'm still going to be serviced, like, hell, who wouldn't? I mean, we just have to be honest. Hell, that's a nice free ride. Okay, so what reason, what motivation does he have to want to do better? And you just nagging him about it, that's not helping. Okay, that's not how you get him to change. It's not how he's not going to be inspired, Queens, by you just running your mouth like that. Okay, the best way for you, if anything, to inspire him is for you to be better yourself, for you to recognize your worth as the queen that you are and get yourself together, okay? And you hold yourself in a higher regard, okay, which automatically you're going to operate differently, okay? When you have self-esteem, high self-esteem, when you have self-esteem, a good level of self-esteem, you operate differently, okay? When you have a good level of confidence, Queens, you operate differently, okay? And that's just the truth, okay? Someone who has high self-esteem goes out into the world differently. She carries herself differently than a woman that does not have high self-esteem or any confidence. She carries herself differently. Okay, so that's the inner work that you have to do. You have to do that inner work on yourself to figure out your own value and really increase your own self-worth and your perception of yourself, because you are the one that is perpetuating the ish that's going on out here with these guys. I mean, it is rough out here. Like, we talk in different women's circles, like, it is rough out here. But my gosh, when you have some of you, my beautiful queens, like some of you are just accepting breadcrumbs and you're accepting anything. And you wonder why these guys are out here like that, because of women like you. I love you, and trust me, this comes from a place of love, okay? But we have to recognize it first, because again, you cannot change what you're not willing to acknowledge, okay? You cannot change what you are not willing to acknowledge. I said it in the No More Broken Records book. I said that denial is a disease, and I don't mean that literally, but a disease meaning when you avoid the truth, okay? The pain, or should say the issue, sticks. It stays, it remains. Okay, you can't keep putting on a band-aid because it's not going to heal. Okay, you can't keep just putting band-aids on stuff. You actually have to treat it for it to get better. Okay, and so if we want better, we ourselves as women, as the queens that we are, we have to become better. And you have to stop entertaining and putting up with and tolerating the absolute bare minimum, the bottom of the barrel, the low of the low, queens. You need to stop tolerating that. Okay, but that's something that you are going to have to work on within yourself, because you got to figure out what's really going on with you that has made that acceptable. What is going on with you that has accepted that type of behavior from a man, that low-level behavior from a man, the bare minimum, the breadcrumbs, the low-level behavior? You are a woman of high value. You're a queen. You're God's daughters. Royalty, baby, royalty. Why are you accepting less than you deserve? Why are you even entertaining that? And why are you reinforcing that bad behavior? Because that's what you're doing. You giving your all, okay, aside from sex, I'm just talking about your time and your energy. That's valuable. Your time and your energy, your emotional, you're talking about your emotional well-being here, mental, emotional, spiritual. You're giving you and all of you away to someone who's not being of any value, but he's getting everything from you, and he didn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to do anything for it. So why? Like, why are you reinforcing that low, bare minimum behavior? Why are you accepting that? Because you're reinforcing that by you giving your love to him, and apparently, clearly not really accepting, or should I say expecting, anything in return. Okay, so queens, you have to do the inner work. We all have to do the inner work. We all have things to heal within ourselves, myself included. I'm not perfect. I'm on this journey with you guys as well. Okay, but as you guys know, like I tell you on my podcast, when a message comes, I got to get it out, because I always want it to be authentic. I don't sound perfect, and I'm not going for that. I'm going for authentic, because I think that we need to be more authentic in this world and just ourselves and show people like I'm just like you, because really I am. I swear I got issues. Like, we all got issues. I swear we all have issues, but sometimes you can do better. Trust me. Like, you can become aware. You can become aware of the patterns and the habits that you have accumulated, and start to work on healing yourself, so that way you can become better and therefore you will attract better, and you will be operating from a better space. Okay, so that's really the message that came to me to give to you all. I saw another, queen just like myself, who was talking about it, and it was like, yes, I need to piggyback off of that, because, you know, I don't know what it is with us just like accepting the bare minimum. Like, we probably all have been her at some point, but at some point, my hope and desire and intention with me talking about it is that you will wake up. That's the point, is that you will wake up and recognize that you have been settling. You will recognize that you have been accepting less than you deserve. And you have to know that you're worthy and deserving of more. And if you don't, I'm here to tell you, my beautiful queen from another mother, even though I may not have met you physically in the physical world, I haven't met you yet. Okay, I'm here and I have been assigned to you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so we are all queens, and queens uplift queens. And so I am here to give you the permission and the message, and to let you know that yes, you are royalty, and you're fabulous and fantabulous and worthy and deserving of all of your heart's desires. And when it comes to relationships and love, yes, you are worthy and deserving of the highest level of love, the most beautiful level of love, with a man, with a partner that will honor and cherish you in the same way that God does. Yes, you do deserve that. No matter if your father abandoned you, your mother abandoned you, we all have feelings of unworthiness because we all have issues. So it doesn't matter where you came from. You are worthy and deserving, queens, of the absolute best, and that does include relationships. Okay, but it starts here. It starts here. It starts with you. It starts with you and your own relationship that you have with yourself. Okay, you can't expect a man to come in and shower you with love, and you don't even love you. You can't expect a man to come in and love you better than you love yourself. Okay, so you guys have got to, my queens, you have got to start loving yourselves more and giving more to yourselves. Okay, taking care of you and not everyone else. Okay, you want to start taking care of you. Okay, because the more that you honor and value yourself, is the more that people are going to respond. The universe is going to respond to how you treat yourself. And if you have a very low sense of self, a very low perception of yourself, and you don't think you're worthy and deserving of anything, then that's what you're going to attract. And ideally, you will then accept on that level, just low everything. And no, that's not right, and it's not what God put you on this earth for. No, queen. No, absolutely not. I'm here to tell you, and I say give you permission. No, you deserve the best of everything. Okay, so you have to start treating yourself like you deserve the best of everything. Okay? Okay. Because you do. Really, you do. Okay, that doesn't mean you gotta, that doesn't mean now you become bougie and, act like you're better than anybody else. That, of course, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm simply talking about loving yourself as the beautiful creation of God that you are. Self-love. I'm talking about self-love and really carrying yourself in a manner that says, yes, I am the bomb. I am somebody. And yes, God put me on this earth to do whatever you're supposed to do, that you have all these gifts and talents and abilities that God gave you. And yes, you deserve to share those gifts and talents and abilities with the world. And even if you haven't done that yet, you can start doing that. Okay, but you've got to get to a place where you recognize your own value. We really truly recognize your value as a beautiful queen that you are. Okay? And so you cannot, you cannot, Queen, keep entertaining men, guys that are not reciprocating the love that you're giving. Okay? I know that one of the things that she did say, who brought the topic up, or at least who I came across that brought the topic up, was that apparently you guys, some of you, you don't want a good man. She was like, you don't want a good man because you like being in control. You actually like the fact that he's less than you or that he doesn't have as much as you because you like being in control. And when she said that, I have to say I stopped for a minute to think about that. And it actually, she has some really, really good points. Because why would you, why would you accept just the, I should say the bottom of the barrel? Why, as the queen that you are, why would you like just accept absolute breadcrumbs? And you're working, you're working, and you know, you come home and this guy is just playing video games and not really bringing, he hasn't brought anything to the table. He's not bringing anything to the table, but he's living with you. You're the one working and you're the one doing everything. Like, it's really hard for me to like put two and two. I'm just being honest. And so when she brought that up from that perspective, you know, I was like, you know, that's as crazy as it sounds. That shouldn't. It makes sense. It makes sense because if you want to be in control and it makes you feel superior, and you're one of the women, and I'm not judging you, but if you're one of the women that wants to control a guy, then I can see how that makes sense. That yeah, you are going to put up with that because you are better. Well, not that you're better than him, but that you have more, and you know that that particular guy, he's probably not going to go anywhere because he ain't got nothing anyway. So it's like, yeah, I got him on lock, but at what cost? At what cost though? Like your real value, like your soul and your energy and all that, like you're at, to me, you put your whole being at risk. You put your whole being, your essence, your queenness, you put your whole being at risk. Why? I mean, again, and I'm not judging if you are one of those women, but I'm just offering you a different perspective, for you to really recognize your worth, queens, that you don't have to put up with that. You know, if you have a mindset that you want to be in control, is it really that? I would, if anything, I would urge you to really do some self reflection on that. You know, really, if you're really putting up with like anything and you have somebody, my God, if you have somebody that's not contributing any value really, I really want you to do some self-reflection on that. Like, where does that come from? Who who in your childhood taught you about love? Who in your childhood did you look up to from a relationship standpoint? Who taught you about relationships and what you should and should not accept as a woman? And you know, if maybe, I don't know if you had a father or didn't have a father, maybe who also taught you about how a man is supposed to treat a woman? You know, you're gonna have to do some self-reflection on that, because a lot of us, we don't realize a lot of the things that we do in our adult lives stems from what we were taught as children, what we were conditioned with as children, and we just brought it into our adulthood. And until we recognize that, we're just going to continue repeating the same cycles over and over and over because we're not conscious of it. We're not aware of it. Okay. And so if you are a woman that you're in control and you are dealing with someone who doesn't really have anything to offer, there might be something in that. When you do the self-reflection and you really look at those things on a deeper level, that it may come to you like, wow, okay, I learned this from so and so, or I learned this from my mother, I learned this from my father, I learned this from my aunt. Okay, you have to go back to the root. Like, you've got to go all the way back to your childhood. It may sound crazy, but I'm telling you, if you guys if you read books on relationships, but if you read psychology books that deal with relationships and the psychology and all that, because I read a lot of books, you'll see a lot of them talk about going back to your childhood and doing that type of inner reflection, because you have to. Like, all of us, we have conditioning. Even if it wasn't relationships, all of us, to some degree, we're conditioned. We have a blueprint. We're conditioned to think a certain way, to operate a certain way, and it's because of what we were taught. What we were taught, okay? And until you recognize that and become aware of that, you're going to operate from the belief system that you were taught as a child. You just carry it right into your adulthood, and you operate from that belief system, unless you do the inner work and you decide to do something different, okay? But you're not going to do that until you become aware of it, okay? You're not going to change what you won't acknowledge, okay? And so just to wrap it up here, I'm looking at my time. So just to wrap it up here, you guys, my queens, you guys are so worthy and deserving of the best. I mean, top notch, honey, A grade. You're talking about queenness, okay? Queenness. In the beginning of this video, I showed the book. I will show it again. Oh, hold on. There it is. Okay. Hold on. Let me get it right. Sorry. There it is. Queens. Ugh. Queens Don't Settle. Okay. So it's on Amazon. That's my second book that I published. The first one is No More Broken Records, which is on Amazon. I didn't bring that book with me, sorry. But if you go to my website, queensdon'tsettle.com, again, it is queensdon'tsettle.com. You'll see both books on there, as well as the link to the podcast. My podcast is Queens Don't Settle, and it's also available on iTunes as well. So typically, I usually do the podcast, but like I said in the beginning, it kind of came back around that I should probably start doing the videos again, because I was doing that at one point, and then for whatever reason, it just kind of got away. But clearly God was like, nope, I need you to get back here. So I'm here for you guys, my queens, because I love you. I love my queens. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. And I know how society has conditioned us as women to just settle. I know. I know how society, I understand now, because I've been doing the work. I understand how we are conditioned as women to really accept less. But it does start from a young age, and I talk about that in the No More Broken Records book, how they condition us with the baby dolls. And yeah, since I'm at the end of this, I'm not going to go into that, but like I said, both of the books are on Amazon, and I just really want my queens, want you beautiful women to know that you are beautiful and you are worthy and you are deserving of the best. And that's in everything, relationships, life, your job, your career, the dream house you want, the dream car that you want, everything, all of your heart's desires that you want, you are worthy and deserving of, okay? But we all have to do the work, the inner work, to heal a lot of the brokenness, and the hurt and the baggage that we're all carrying. We have to do the work to heal, because as we heal, we will then become better, and then we will then attract better. Okay. So do not settle. You do not settle. And if you are, unfortunately, in a relationship where he ain't doing much, and really you have been accepting and tolerating that, then I simply ask you, Queen, to look within yourself to see what is going on with you and why it has been okay for you to accept that behavior. Is it just that you want to have somebody around? Is it that, you just want a holiday bay? So you're just willing to put up with anything? You just want to have someone for the sake of having someone, even though you ain't doing anything? I mean, what is the reason? What is the real reason that you have somebody around that's not really contributing any value to you, to your life? I mean, if anything, to me, that's more of a headache. And I like peace of mind, but that's just me. I'd rather be by myself and at peace, rather than in a relationship with the wrong man for the wrong reasons, and and unhappy or miserable, like, or stressed out, Ew. But that's just me. That's just me. And I just have for some reason, I have this belief that for those of you that are, any woman that is really accepting less than she deserves, there's a reason why. And only that particular queen can do that inner work and self-reflection to figure out why. Because for us to empower the nation, man, we got to empower the women. We got to empower our women. Hello, we give birth. We create life. I mean, we really hold the power. That is that song by Beyonce, who runs the world. Girls, we do. But a lot of women just don't recognize their power. And sometimes unfortunately, sometimes will have to happen for you to wake up. And I hope that the wall doesn't have to come down for that to happen. I hope that you don't have to hit the wall first, before you wake up. Because you can wake up at any time. You just have to really, really be honest. I think that's one of the huge, hi Ashley, mwah, hi Nanette, mwah. One of the huge reasons why a lot of women just are stuck. Even men, really, even men. But why a lot of us are stuck is because we're not being honest with ourselves. Okay, a lot of us won't even look in the mirror. I've mentioned that on my podcast. Some of you won't even look in the mirror because you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to face yourself. But the truth is, for anything to change, you've got to face yourself. And you've got to face your actions or your inactions as to figure out what got you to this place. What got me here? If we're talking about a relationship, what got me here? What got me here? You have to do that work, queens. Nothing is going to change until you change. Nothing changes until you change. Everything changes once you change. But it starts with you, okay? Your self-love, your self-worth, your perception of yourself, okay? Because the man can't love you more than you love yourself. I mean, he just can't. He just cannot, okay? So that's something you have to work on within yourself, okay? But please don't be a part of the problem. Continue to perpetuate the problem out here with dating, okay? Because you are accepting these breadcrumbs. I used to call it shit crumbs. You're accepting the breadcrumbs and the little mere sprinkles of love and affection that a guy might give you, because I guess at least it's something. Okay, but you deserve more than that. But why are you accepting just that, like the absolute bare minimum? But then you complain and become a part of the bitter women that talk about there are no good men out here. That's not true. I am not one of those women. I'm not into male bashing. I talk about it. I've said that on my podcast and I've said it in my articles. I do not believe in the male bashing. I will offer my perspective, yes. Okay, but no, all men are this and all men are dogs, and no, absolutely not. That's not true, because I don't like when men do that about us. All women are this and all women are gold diggers and all you want are a guy for money. No, no, that's what you've experienced. That's not all. So I don't do that for men as well. Okay? So do not be a part of that, queens. If you listen, like I said, I'm not judging. If you want a good man and yet you are putting up with and tolerating low level behavior, okay, the bare minimum, and you're doing everything and giving everything to someone that's not meeting you halfway, you're not happy, and you know you're not. Okay, just be honest. You're not happy because you're not getting what you need, but you're still, for some reason, accepting it and just tolerating it and just maybe going through the motions. Well, you're perpetuating the bad behavior. And hell, he's still getting sex. He's still probably getting food. He's getting fed. When I say you're feeding him and clothing him and bathing him and sexing him and doing everything for him, and you ain't get nothing in return. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But this is really what's happening out here. And then you will say, oh, well, there are no good men out here. No, it's you. You're accepting that and tolerating that. You are doing that. Okay, so again, goes back to self-love. It goes back to the self-love and the perception, your own perception of yourself and your own levels and ideals on your own worthiness, okay? Only you can change that, but you've got to do the inner work. And I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen overnight, queens. It's an everyday ongoing thing. It is not going to happen overnight. Trust me, okay? But personal growth, personal development, that's what I mean when I say you want to do the inner work. You want to be learning, you want to learn about yourself, you want to do the work, you want to write down and figure out, your belief systems. Where did they come from? Who taught you about love? Who taught you about relationships? Who modeled, whose relationship are you modeling? Who is there a relationship that you're modeling or that you want to model? Who taught you those things? Because they all affect how we are in relationships, who we tolerate, who we accept, who we don't accept. All of those beliefs and conditioning that we have, it all plays a role in the types of people that we accept, that we attract. All of those things play a role. So we have to do the inner work of finding out where they came from, your beliefs and your conditioning came from, because they're only beliefs. Beliefs can be changed. Beliefs can be changed by you, okay? But you've got to first become aware of it and figure out, okay, this is what it was, but you know what? I'm not feeling that anymore. So I want this instead. And so you're going to now figure out how to close the gap, right? So if you may have been settling in the past before, and you recognize that because you're doing the work and you recognize that you have been accepting less, as an example. Okay, so now you're here, right? And you recognize you want to be over here. Then we just want to close the gap, right? What is it going to take? What do you have to do now to get here? So you were operating from a space of this woman who doesn't have a lot of self-confidence, feeling unworthy, and these are just examples, okay? And so now you've recognized, yes, I do feel, yes, I do have low self-confidence, for example, because, I was picked on as a child. So I have low self-confidence, for example. Okay, so I recognize that, but I want to be the woman, the queen, the fierce Shira that I am. And I want to be this confident woman over here. So what is it going to take for me to get there? Okay, because again, it's not going to happen overnight, but what is it going to take for me to get to her, to becoming her? Okay, so it's going to be like a daily thing that you got to do, but um, it's just simply showing up for yourself every day, committing to yourself, feeding yourself, giving to yourself, making yourself a priority. Okay. As far as when we're talking about confidence, you want to do some things that make you feel good. What are some of the things that make you feel good? Do you like to draw? Do you like to paint? Do you like to cook? Do you like to bake? Do you like to take photos? Do you like to travel? Like, what are some of the things that enliven you? What are some of the things that you like to do? Because when you do things that you like, it increases your confidence. Like, do things that you actually like. Go. So if you like to paint, go to like a paint night. Get around other people that are in a really good energy, positive energy, and hang out with people of that higher frequency, of that higher vibration. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to make some real change in your life. And I guess I'm not surprised that God told me to do this, because it's the end of 2018 and he wants some of you to go into 2019 with a different mindset, right? And it probably means that you guys need to get around some different people. You need to get around some different people, a different environment, some new people, do some different things, right? So that way you are becoming the person that wasn't over here and low self-confidence, low self-esteem. No, you are going to be the person on this side with the high self-esteem and the high self-confidence, who loves herself and who's not going to settle and just put up with anything for the sake of having someone, or whatever other reason it might be. Okay, because it's the holidays, cuffing season, I guess. No, absolutely not. You're going to enjoy your own, you need to learn how to enjoy your own company. Okay, you need to be by yourself. Some of you need to be by yourselves and really learn to love yourself and enjoy your own company. Because if you don't enjoy your own company, how can you expect somebody else to love enjoy your own company? Okay, a lot of this may seem elementary, and you may not think like, oh yeah, I know that. But really, if we looked at some of your lives, like if we had cameras following some of you, what you say and what you think, oh yeah, I know all this. Oh, what we would see will be totally different. Let's just be honest. Because everybody can say this and that. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. You don't need to tell me that. But I bet you if we had some cameras following you and following your life, we would see something totally different. Totally different. Okay. And that's where the authenticity comes in. This is again, everything that I do comes from a place of love and authenticity. Like, I'm no different than you, I promise. I'm learning and I'm on the journey. I just clearly learned some things already, to apparently which I can teach now. But no, I am no different, and we all have issues. And I'm still learning, because like I said, it's an everyday process. It's an everyday thing. We all have things to learn and to heal, and cycles, patterns to break, and ways that we can always be improving, right? That's what life is. We should always be progressing and moving forward. Okay, so I love you, queens. This is longer than I thought it was going to be. Lord, my bad. But if you look at some of the other YouTube videos, I think I've said that before. When I used to do it, I'd be like, damn, I'm only going to be 10 minutes, and it's like 20 or 30. But hey, I have to give you what I'm supposed to give you. And if it happens to be a little longer, then so what? Because I'm just the messenger. I am just the messenger. That's it. But I'm human just like you. I hurt, I cry, I get sad. I mean, I'm just like you. Trust me, I've made mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes because it's not about being perfect. But at some point, we just want to make sure that we're not consistently, constantly making the same mistakes over and over. Okay, we don't want to sound like a broken record all the time. Okay, because that's the whole thing. You sound like a broken record. Okay, we want to change our tune and transform our life. And you can make a mistake, but the point is you want to learn from it so you can make better choices and do better the next time. Okay, that's all. Not perfection. You guys hear me say it, especially on the podcast. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. It's about progression and progressing and just working on yourself and healing and becoming better. So internally you are better. Therefore, it on the outside, your outside world becomes better. Okay? Your outside world, like the physical world, the outside world is only a reflection of your inner world. Your inner world, okay? Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. It's an inner game, okay? So that's what we want to work on, the inner game, the thoughts of the unworthiness, the brokenness, the disappointments that we're holding on to, the frustration, the anger, all of that. That's the inner work that I'm talking about, the inner work that we have to do. Okay, so that way, as we heal, we become aware of these things and conscious of these things, we can heal them so then we can become better. And then, therefore, guess what? Our outside world then becomes better. Okay, so my queens, you guys know we don't settle. Hello, we don't settle. Okay, because you guys have to put yourselves first and take care of yourselves and work on yourselves and do the inner reflection and do the work so you can get back to who you are and your goals and dreams and what you want to do, okay? And enjoy your own company and travel the world and do whatever it is you want to do and enjoy your own company and just love on you and take care of you. Because the relationship is supposed to be, an addition, not a subtraction. Okay, an addition and not a subtraction. Your world is not supposed to get smaller, it is supposed to expand. Okay, expand, grow. The two of you should be growing together, not shrinking together, or one person shrinking, No. Okay, one person is growing and the other person is not. It's not going to work. I've been there. It's not going to work. Okay, relationships are supposed to be additions and not subtractions, and so it's very important for us as women, as the queens that we are, to honor ourselves and take care of ourselves so we are whole. Okay, without the guy. Okay, so that way when the guy comes in, he's really just an addition to our fabulosity. Hello? So in other words, you don't need him. It's nice, yeah, it's nice to have that and you want that. Of course, I want that, but it's not like it's a need. It's not like you're desperate or you're not trying to fill a void, okay? Because that void can only be filled with your own self-love, with you, okay? Your cup, you. That void can only be filled with you, okay? And your own self-love. And by you taking care of your own needs and wants, okay? Making yourself a priority. That's how that void gets filled. Not with another penis. Not with another, temporary boo for some short-term gratification. That's basically putting a Band-Aid on it. That's putting a Band-Aid on it. That's not healing that's not treating the wound. That's just putting a Band-Aid on. That's short-term gratification. Oh, I got a holiday boo. Okay, that's short-term. That's not long-term. Okay, because the issue still stands. You got to recognize your worth as the queen that you are. And I'm not knocking you if you get a holiday boo. But make sure that's what he is a holiday boo. Don't try to make him into something long term when you know he's just supposed to be a holiday boo. Okay? Because some of you do that. I've done that. So yeah, that's fine. Again, I don't come with that. There ain't no judgment here. Trust me. But we just have to talk the truth. We want to be honest. We want to speak the truth. Okay? So again, I love you, Queens. If you have not subscribed to the podcast, then yes, please subscribe to the Queens Don't Settle podcast. If you go again to my website, you will see the link for it. queensdon'tsettle.com is the website. If you scroll down, of course, you'll see the blog, but you will see the link for the podcast right by the books. So yes, please subscribe to the podcast. Also, I have a YouTube channel, and so I ask you, Queens, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have some videos that I've been talking about this. Yeah, I was talking about this like a couple of years ago. So like I said, I'm here. God brought it back around. I'm here. I'm here for you, Queens. So like I said, no, I'm just like you, not better, and I'm not worse. We're all on this path and journey of enlightenment and personal growth and personal development and just becoming the best version of ourselves together. We're doing this all together. Okay, so I come in love, peace, and harmony, and all good things for my queens. And make sure that you take care of yourself, queens. Going into 2019, make sure that you make yourself a priority in 2019 and do the work. Just do the work, okay? But you absolutely deserve the best. And in a relationship, okay, he better be contributing some. He should be an addition, okay, not a subtraction, okay. Think about a bank account, the negative withdrawals, okay. Think about a bank account. I use that analogy in my book. There has to be more deposits than negative withdrawals, or the account is not going to sustain itself, right? You can't take out something that's not in there. It has to be, you have to make some deposits, right? You have to make some positive deposits in there in order to even take anything out in the first place, okay? But you can't just take, and there's nothing being deposited, right? So relationships should be additions and not subtractions. More positive deposits versus negative withdrawals, okay? Addition, not a subtraction. Your world should expand, not shrink, okay? Okay. So I love you, Queens, and I will, of course, talk to you in the next podcast, but I will also talk to you guys in the next video. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if I do not talk to you guys before the new year, have a happy, happy new year. Please write your goals down for 2019 and just know that you are going to rock it out because you're fabulous. We're fabulous. We're queens and you're fabulous. Okay. So I love you. I love you. I love you. And always remember, you are a queen and you are first, never last. You guys know my queens are first, never last. Okay. I love you. Good night.